Well, in Israel, hundreds of thousands of demonstrators took to the streets demanding a deal to free the hostages. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared the war won't end until Hamas is defeated. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl reports.
Some 350,000 Israelis gathered in a mass rally in Tel Aviv Tuesday evening, calling on the government to make a deal with Hamas to free the hostages. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with his security cabinet Tuesday, but said little about what was discussed, emphasizing the fighting will continue until Hamas gives up.
It started in Gaza and it will end in Gaza. We will not leave these monsters there. We will release all our hostages. We will ensure that Gaza no longer poses a threat to Israel.
Jonathan Spire of the Middle East Forum says the war can only end with complete victory for Israel.
My view is that it has to end with the complete destruction of the Islamist Authority in Gaza. Anything less than that would represent a victory for Hamas.
Israel apologized for killing journalists and first responders in an attack on the Nasser hospital in Gaza, but noted 6 others killed in the attack were terrorists. Initial findings said the soldiers mistook the cameras pointed at them from a lookout for hostile elements with guns.
What they encountered in each and every hospital was that Hamas fighters, terrorists, were abusing hospitals for combat activity.
Jonathan Conricus, senior fellow from the Foundation for Defense of Democracy, says Israel's investigation and admission show its adherence to moral principles even in war.
This is one of these rare instances where Israel has an opportunity to acknowledge a mistake and strengthen its credibility by actually taking action and showing that we're serious about our morals and values, and when mistakes happen, we own up to them.
In the U.S., President Trump, who recently said he believes the war will end in a few weeks, is planning ahead. He and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff are set to hold meetings at the White House today to discuss a comprehensive plan to manage Gaza after the war. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, Israel's in a moment, just as our President Roosevelt was in a moment in World War II, where he said unconditional surrender is the only way forward. We have to have total victory, whether over Japan or over Germany. That this ideology can no longer last. It can no longer remain in power. For Israel, having Hamas still in power in Gaza is a non-starter. They can't exist with that kind of terror group and that kind of violence right next door. They've shown repeatedly they just want to launch rockets. There are places in the Gaza envelope that are actually named Rocket Town because of the number of attacks over the years, and it's time for it to stop. For anyone distressed about that hospital, yes, you can blame Israel. You can blame a mistake. They were thinking that cameras were somehow weapons, and okay. But why not blame Hamas? If Hamas is using hospitals and schools and mosques and churches as places to hide weapons and to hide fighters and to build tunnels underneath them, have headquarters underneath them, well, then Hamas is the real enemy here. And Hamas is the one that started it. Hamas is the one that's continuing it. This could all be over if Hamas surrendered and released the hostages. Let's keep the pressure on Hamas. Israel is not the target.